Hello and welcome to this episode of the Three Not So Wise Men. I'm Krais.
I'm Jyck.
And I'm Austin.
And today, everybody, we have a very special guest. Jesus. No, but today we also have...
Hi, I'm Kai Ridley. Nice to meet you.
So Kai,
Okay.
you want to tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about yourself? Let the audience get to know you a little bit?
For sure, dude. I really like Marvel sometimes. I am very, very much a Five Nights at Freddy's theorizer. I do like to write and act very much so. I heard a
Yeah, we got a couple writers in here.
I see.
One of them who's our designated writer.
Oh.
We're
Well.
all writers. That's kind of what our podcast is, guys.
Oh, so
Yeah, but someone that is actually quoted, and I'm pretty sure we labeled as the writer.
I know.
Oh, that.
Hey, it wasn't me or Krais.
I'm more of a designer.
We appreciate the sharing, because sharing is caring.
Indeed.
Yes. As we're told. I also really like to edit and make my own videos. I have my own YouTube channel that I haven't uploaded in over half a year. So,
But regardless, we will have that linked in our description on both Spotify, and you can find it on our YouTube channel too.
Yeah.
guys, I'm blushing.
Hey, you're the one who brought it up.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, sorry.
You guys didn't see it. He was talking to himself in a mirror.
I really was. I'm very humble.
All right, so Austin, can you remind us what our pitch for today is?
Yeah. So today's pitch is create a historical fiction video game. So basically think of anything like Assassin's Creed, Red Dead Redemption. Oh, I'm sure there's a couple more I'm blanking on, but just some of the original Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically what we're doing is we're going to make a video game that's set in the past. And this doesn't necessarily have to be American history. It can be world history too. So if you want to do something about the French Revolution, you can do the French Revolution. If you want to do stuff about the American Civil War, you can do the American Civil War. Basically, anything in the past. And because it's fiction, it doesn't have to be true. You can take creative liberty with it.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed isn't real.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I've never played Assassin's Creed. I mean, I've watched a few walkthroughs. How historically accurate is Assassin's Creed or games like that?
Well, actually, some of them are actually pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Pick me!
Okay.
Pick me!
Okay, Krais.
They're so accurate. They're like 100%. No, they're not.
Most of the events that they have are real from what I've
Yes.
looked into, but they change a few things on how it happens, either because they need to do a little bit of alteration to make it fit their story, or there is just isn't something clear enough and they just need to make a choice. But like in a class that I had for theater history in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they have Athens, and our professor showed us a video of a player going through theater in Athens in the video game, and he was able to say, like, this is accurate, and he showed us, like, the maps he used for teaching before he found this video. And it's very accurate. I just thought that was a cool little tidbit.
Crazy.
Yeah. The other thing is, that's one of the best things about Assassin's Creed is they take those little plot holes, or I get not plot holes, but those little holes in history where we're not really sure what happened, and then they make their own little story out of it and fill in the blanks themselves. Like, until recently, the identity of Jack the Ripper was unsolved, and so they did do a DLC where it's set in Britain where they fought Jack the Ripper. Also, they're known for their historical accuracy with their location building, so much so that when what's the name of the church that burnt down a couple of years ago? It was a really famous church with a lot of great big paintings. Basically, it was so historically accurate that after the church caught fire and was damaged, they used the Assassin's Creed game that was set in Italy, and they used it as reference. It's like
it's the Notre Dame Cathedral.
Yep, Church of Notre Dame. But it was so historically accurate that they were able to use Assassin's Creed to help rebuild the church.
Aw.
Yeah.
That must be very rewarding for the developers.
I will say I've playing my fair share of the games. The locations are more accurate than anything, I would say.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
if you play Odyssey, you could very easily see how realistic and how like to scale.
I wouldn't say Odyssey is the best one to use as example because a lot of it is based off mythology.
I will
But-
say, well, I'm talking about the landscape itself, not the like characters and creatures.
Well, I'm talking even location wise though.
That's fair. I just think they do a really good job of doing research on the locations and then like making maybe not like 1-to-1 scale versions of everything, but
Right.
pretty accurate versions of everything.
Mhm.
The characters, they take a little liberty with it. Like in Assassin's Creed 2, you can meet one of the popes. That doesn't mean there was like the main character of Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio, has met the Pope. It's just they take creative liberty.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. But every time that I hear anything like Odyssey now, and this is your guys' fault, by the way. Anytime I just hear Odyssey, or like even see like news about like the new Odyssey movie that's coming out next year, I just always think of Epic the Musical now. I have no choice.
Mhm.
And
You're
you know
welcome.
what? You know what? I still need to listen through the entire playlist.
We'll get on it.
It's just don't worry, we'll fix that.
All right. Anything
Okay,
else, y'all?
I'm ready to get going.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy, how you feeling about it?
How am I feeling? Oh no. I'm feeling excited. I feel like mine has enough structure that I can, and enough of a template to actually make a good pitch that will destroy all of yours. I know it's not a competition, but I have that.
No point taken.
If I have a mindset that it is, then I work better.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm ready, I'm excited to hear all of yours. I know when you asked me to join, you were all very excited for this prompt. So I'm excited to see what you guys come up with.
So, without further ado, y'all ready?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
All right, we'll get started here in 3, 2, 1, go. And time. Okay.
I'm dead.
How you feeling about it, Kai?
I feel confident. There was just some stuff that I wanted to like double check, but I had like 30 sources open, so I just went with it.
That's fair. Yeah. Jack, Krais, how you guys feeling?
I'm feeling all. I'll explain when I get. I'm conflicted. You'll see why when I say what my pitch is.
Okay. I'm also conflicted about mine.
Grace?
In the great words of Michael Bublé, and I'm feeling good.
Glad we have someone positive on it. Oh, I'm positive on mine. I'm positive. I just, there's stuff about mine I wish I could do differently.
Don't get me wrong. I love mine, but you'll see.
Cool.
I'm excited.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Should
Should
be
we
fun.
spin the wheel and see who's going first?
Yes.
I wonder.
Let's find out this order.
I honestly
I just
really want to go first. Not for once, but I've wanted to go first in quite a while. But I'm ready.
It's been a while since you've gone first, hasn't it?
I mean,
If so, I don't remember the last time, but it could have been last time for all I know.
It really could have. I don't have that list pulled up
Yeah.
at the moment, but it is what it is.
On the chat. I'm sorry.
All right. Without further ado, here we go. Where's the spin button?
Spin
Oh, there it is.
Spin that wheel. Spin that wheel.
Sorry, I looked at the list. I haven't gone first since episode 21.
Oh, that's good because Jack, you're first.
Hey!
That's awesome. Fallen Jack will be. Krais.
Ooh.
gotta
All
figure-
right. Following Krais, it's between me and Kai.
Oh no.
Kai, you are next.
Oh my god, the silence was scary.
Yeah.
All right, and that means I'll finish this off.
All right.
Best for last, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That's what I say every single time I go last, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Self-affirmation matters, man.
Yeah.
All right, without further ado, Jack, you want to take us away, kick us off?
Yeah. So, first off, know what? I'll just give this first little bit, and then I'll say what I've been wanting to say. October 1888, in the Whitechapel district of London's East End, a new danger lurks in the fog.
You did not.
Is it Jack the Ripper?
Fucker, I did Jack the Ripper, and you stole my thunder right at the beginning.
That was me.
Oh my gosh!
I'm sorry, they did a DLC for an Assassin's Creed.
I just was like, you said that, and I just went silent. I'm like, oh my god.
Hey, you could have a different approach. Assassin's Creed is a whole different beast.
Yeah,
So I imagine yours is different. So you're still in the clear.
DLC, so I could do exactly what they did without realizing it, but I doubt it.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Alright, so since this is a video game, I originally wanted to focus more on the mechanics than the story, but for the story to make sense, I had to spend 20 minutes on that, but the mechanics are pretty simple. They're just not super fleshed out. So, I'll give this first bit, and we'll go from there. So, October 1888, and I'm going to give some historical context real quick because I couldn't bake it into the pitch itself, but I have the information here, and it'll be like told through cutscenes in this. This is a very much a narrative-heavy game. Right. So, Jack the Ripper killed what's confirmed of 8 women between August. First body was found August 31st of 1888, and the last one was found November 19th. So at the beginning of October, you follow Detective Charles Bailey as he talks to Officer Fitz, Whitechapel Vigilance Committee member Samuel, and a local pickpocket Annie, and others to try and find the infamous Jack the Ripper. Along the way, he gets letters from the Ripper, follows leads, and uses whatever means necessary to stop the serial killer. So the start of the game is a cutscene. We see a woman walking through the street after dark, and by the way, the Whitechapel district is full of fog, so that lends to some really cool atmospheric effects. Because again, very narrative heavy. Woman walking through the street after dark, she hears some whistling in an alley beside her. She turns to see the figure of a man through the fog. She steps closer to get a better look. "Hello?" she calls out. The whistling stops and the figure approaches. Now all she can see is the glint of a blade, a scream, a flash of red. And that flash of red will transition to the cover of a red book, and it'll zoom out and you'll see Detective Bailey sitting in a pub. A man joins him. This is Samuel from the Whitechapel Vigilance Committee. This is a group that was fed up of the police not being able to catch Jack the Ripper, so it was kind of like a neighborhood watch on steroids type of thing. And they hired private detectives such as Bailey to help find Jack the Ripper. So you're going to play as Detective Bailey throughout this story. So get into the kind of the mechanics of it. A lot of what this is open world within this district. I'm thinking a lot of the vibes is from like Assassin's Creed, from like how it looks, how the controls work, but there's no assassinations. Yeah. So
There's only Creed.
There's only Creed. Hold me now.
So, as Detective Bailey, you can walk around, you can talk with people, you can try and bribe them, question them, threaten. You can even detain people, and Bailey has a revolver. You can shoot them, if you so please, because it's an area rife with crime. And, however, if you are caught doing something illegal or you die, because people will fight back, if you do something that would stop you from continuing your investigation, you'll reset to your last save point, kind of like desynchronization in Assassin's Creed as well.
Crazy that you're trying to stop a serial killer, and the way that you stop them is just by shooting everyone you're talking to.
If you want to, I mean, as long as you can get the clues you need to figure it out. Because a lot of it will be, you'll find letters, police reports, newspaper articles, and the player is supposed to read them and try and figure things out. Because you're not going to get a lot of hints in this game. It's not supposed to be a easy solve thing, and there is no difficulty level modification.
That's historically accurate, because they never caught the guy.
Yep. And as you go through this, you can, because this takes place over an in-game month. So you can build relationships with people, try and get more info. Maybe they'll help you talk to other people and cheaper bribes. Maybe they'll help you rough someone up, etc. And there were gangs at the time in that area, so might have a little bit of that, but there'll be plenty of cool little side plots as well. So let's get to the rest of the story. Along the way, again, this is over a month, at some point at night, you'll hear a woman scream. The player needs to run into an alley, and if they do, a cutscene begins, where Bailey is rushing to the rescue, revolver in hand. A woman is crawling away from a man in the fog. The glint of a blade is seen. Bailey tells the man to halt, and the man runs. Bailey fires after him, and we get a chase beginning, where the player can run, they're jumping over things, all sorts of things, bumping, pushing people out of the way. You can fire at the figure if you get too far away, reset to the beginning of the chase, etc. And there will be like muggers in the street trying to stop you and take your money. Then, just when he thinks he's about to get him, Bailey is stopped by Officer Fitz, who's a beat cop. Heard gunshots and stopped the man with the first man he saw with a gun. And it takes him a second to recognize Bailey, and Bailey's just like, you let Jack the Ripper get away, I almost had him. That's kind of a routine thing with him and Officer Fitz, by the way. That night, Bailey comes back to where he's staying, his room at the inn. I'm just going to say it's an inn. It's really more like a rundown motel than anything, but I'm going to say inn because I want to.
It sounds nicer.
Yeah, it sounds nicer. Even though living conditions there were very not nice. So Bailey finds a note sitting on his bed, and the window was left open, and not by him. And he looks at the note, and it matches one that the police got from someone claiming to be Jack the Ripper on a letter that Officer Fitz had shown him. And that is a thing that happened. That's how they got the name Jack the Ripper, is someone claiming to be the serial killer who killed 5 women and took their organs as trophies, wrote to the police claiming to be someone called Jack the Ripper. So Bailey gets a note just like that, and it says to meet him the next night a night in the future, to meet Jack the Ripper alone where they first met. When we get to that night, first you'll go around, try and get as many clues as you can to help you prepare. But when you get to that night, Bailey will go and wait, and we'll start a cutscene. A man will appear out of the fog. Bailey gets ready to pull his revolver. A shine from something in his hand is seen. Suddenly, officers are all over the man and pin him down, only to realize that it was a drunk holding a bottle that just happened to catch the light. Bailey berates Fitz and the other officers for, one, following him, how the heck did you know about this, etc. And once again, we get Bailey yelling at Fitz, you ruined my chance to catch Jack the Ripper. But before Bailey leaves the scene, he finds another note from Jack, and this one addressed to him, and this one simply says, see you again soon. Along the way, we'll get more and more letters, and also along the way, there was, how is this put? Many strenuous and sometimes curious efforts to identify and trap the killer, all to no avail. So I like to have this open where the players can do stuff like that, where they can, partner up with a gang to ambush this guy who's killing all these people, etc. And that'll go on, and then just whenever you have Bailey go to sleep, it'll be the next day, etc. Finally, we get to November 9th, where the 5th body is found. Bailey is about to give up. He's been at this for almost a month to no avail. And then he's looking at the letters he got from Jack, and he notices something in the stationery they're written on. A slight little watermark for a specific paper mill nearby, or something like that. Basically a place that says where the stationery's from. And so Bailey also connects it with some other clues that the player needs to have found at that point, and he finds an apartment building that it would have to be at. So immediately, this is at night, Bailey rushes to that apartment, barges through the door, and he sees him, Jack the Ripper. And he is currently sharpening his blade as he stares at 5 objects on his desk. 5 organs from 5 women. I should also have probably said this at the beginning, but content warning, this is dark and gory. But that should have come along with the lines of Jack the Ripper, by the way. But
Yeah.
I should have said that anyway. Yeah, so Jack is staring at them, and then immediately Jack looks up, sees Bailey, and rushes him, and then we get another chase scene. Out of the building, through these alleys, and finally we have Jack being cornered by Bailey. There's no way out. Bailey just looks at Jack and goes, "Why?" Jack smiles and shrugs. "That's a long story. One you'll never know." Jack throws his blade into Bailey, and as he falls, Bailey fires, hitting Jack in the gut. We jump ahead, and we see officers finding Bailey's body. They figure it's just a mugging gone wrong, and the camera pans, and we see Jack gut shot around the corner. He grins and walks off. We follow Jack as he stumbles back to his apartment with all the chaos going on around him that is normal for the Whitechapel district. He gets back to his apartment, sits down at his desk again. He's looking at the organs, and then he opens a drawer, pulls out a sketch of a woman, and sets it down on the desk. Without looking away from the sketch, he reaches for an oil lamp, breaks it on the ground, and the building catches on fire. Final cutscene the next day. Officer Fitz looking over reports of Bailey's death, officially cited as a mugging and a murder, and a mysterious fire that happened on the same night. He sighs and turns back to looking for the Ripper. That's the game.
I think Kai wants to go first.
No. I'll let you guys go first. I'll let you or Austin go first.
Austin?
Okay, I'll go first. Honestly, I kind of liked it. I like how you still kept the mystery of Jack the Ripper at even towards the end of it. I thought that was really cool. So that way, it's kind of like it continues the history, but it also is like, here's what could have happened. Here's a set of events that could have happened. Yeah, overall, I don't really have a whole lot on it. I think maybe I would have liked a little bit more of an explanation on why the other criminals are helping Jack the Ripper. That was a little unclear to me. But
sorry, I it was kind of thrown in the last second. Sorry, wait, did you say helping Jack the Ripper or helping Bailey?
Well, Bailey was fighting the robbers, right? Or the other.
I mean, you have as
Crooks.
the player, you have the opportunity to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more of like finding Jack the Ripper, but you know, if you're walking around looking for clues and someone tries to mug you, you're probably gonna fight back.
Okay, that clears up a bit. Yeah, I do like that because I get when your primary antagonist is the guy who mainly works solo, and at the dead of night, you got to have some sort of minions or weak opponents to actually fight along the way to keep the game interesting. But yeah, that was my only kind of concern, but I understood why you did it. But overall, I thought it was a really good pitch.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, are you sure?
I don't mind. Go ahead.
Okay. I really, really loved it. I love everything. Okay, I get this from my mom, but I really like true crime stories, and I really like slasher stories as well. So having a game, like an actual game centered around the biggest mystery of a case of a serial killer would be so interesting. And I love the story beats that you created with it, and I like the character concepts that you did. And I also had like some of the similar critiques that Austin did, but I didn't really like think about it too much because I was more so focused on the dynamic between Officer, was it Fitz or Fritz?
Fitz, no R.
Fitz. Okay. Between Officer Fitz and Bailey, and the amount of times, and this is just how my brain works, the amount of times that anytime that Bailey was close to getting Jack the Ripper, and both times when he failed, Fitz was there. And Jyck wasn't really seen when Fitz showed up. So my brain was like, "Oh my gosh, is he gonna make Officer Fitz the killer?" And I really like how you never really confirmed it, but you didn't like leave any space. Even with the cutscene with Fitz afterwards, left room like with like that speculation because it does make sense, but you aren't like confirming it as well. I just really like how you handled the mystery aspect of it and how like any character that you originally came up with or any mugger or just like some NPC that you don't have that many interactions with could be Jack. Like you're keeping the mystery of it alive and it's tickling my writer's brain, it's tickling my theorist brain. You're just tickling me, Jack. Stop.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. But in the last scene where Jack walks back to his apartment, we do finally see his face.
Interesting.
So it'll be clear that it's not Officer Fitz, but I do kind of want it to like be like hinted that it possibly could be Officer Fitz. But in the last, we see that Officer Fitz was just jumping the gun too much. I almost said incompetent, but he's really not incompetent. He's just jumping the gun too much on it.
I see.
So we see the face, and it, you know, the character will like Jack the Ripper, like the character model will be seen around. It'll just make it so like it moves away. The character model moves away before you can interact with it, but never like runs away, just like in the distance. So it'd be cool little things like that. Is something I'd like to sprinkle in there.
I see.
I guess I'll take it away.
Yes.
I really enjoyed this. I just did some quick research on like open world noir games because that I can't think of any that I have at least played, and there's a few results, but like I don't think there's anything like this that you propose. Maybe there is. I might just be missing it. But I think this is a really cool idea. Like, I love, like, I'm not a big Jack the Ripper story, but I love, like, noir stories. And I, as a sucker for open world games, I think this is just, like, it's one of those games that branches off from a genre that I love, that I would be interested in playing it. And I just think the world would be fun to play in. Like, do you know how cool it would be to like run around the streets of London with all that fog? It would kill a machine, but
need a pretty power. Like this would have to be like the newest gen games just for that.
Yeah,
just for the effects. Like I think a lot of the budget will go towards that. But I think the thing that'll help it is it's literally just one district of London's East End, so there's a limit to where you can go. And you won't be able to, like, enter every building because most of what will happen will be on the streets. But I still think you could, like, do it. Like, if you have... The graphics wouldn't be too great, but you could fit it on the Switch. I mean, it could definitely go on the Switch, too, since they've announced, like, what it can do now as of the recording of this. But maybe even on the, like, original Switch, since it's not too heavy and there's a lot of cutscenes. I don't know. I think I got ideas for how it would look.
When you were when you were describing it, it gave me. I know you said like same kind of like styling and mechanics as Assassin's Creed, but like how it was like structured and how like you described like the atmosphere. For me personally, I got a lot of Until Dawn atmospheric vibes. Like
I haven't played the game, so I'll take that from you. By Assassin's Creed, I kind of meant like how you move around the world.
Right.
And interact, like when you go into a city in Assassin's Creed, like your character can only move so fast, and you have to like it slows down the walk. You walk up to people, press a button to talk to them, etc. That's kind of what I meant by that.
I like it. I think it could work either way, but I really like how you described like the atmospheric and how the world works.
Yeah, agreed. Seconded. Yeah, just sounds like a fun time all around.
Yeah.
Except for all the blood, the gore, the murder,
the deaths.
Yeah.
With that note, Krais, why don't we go ahead and go to your pitch?
I have to go. Oh no.
Sit your ass down. Fill up your pitch.
Okay. So, my pitch. The sun rises on a hill in the morning. A large bird casts a shadow down onto the ground. A a figure takes his first step climbing the hill to the very top. Dun dun. It is the dawn of the caveman.
You're on the caveman kick, aren't you?
Yeah.
Caveman mobsters.
No, it is not.
Okay, I was like, you're not going to refuse. I'll give you fire for the information.
Oonga, oonga.
No, but this is called Savage Land Survivor. I can't take credit for that. I couldn't come up with the name, so I used Gemini. I want to take credit. I really do, but I just can't.
I think that's proper use of AI. Trying to come up with the title if you can't.
Yeah. But everything else is mine. So, you played Ugg.
I saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Ugg, spelled UG, has a strength of... Hey, language doesn't exist yet. You can't knock me for my spelling.
I didn't say anything.
For the listeners at home, Kai has seen my spelling, and he does not like any of it.
No, don't play D&D with him and look at his spelling.
Anyways, so Ugg, his strength is 100. He has a speed total of 75, and his intelligence score is a 0.
I just mentioned D&D. You're giving stats.
It is a video game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your mission in the game is to survive the world after it's been unfrozen from the Ice Age, and you got to survive and deal with this new climate. You have to evolve to survive in this new world that is laid before you. If you can believe it or not, it's an open world game. Yes. So I have a lot of mechanics. I wasn't able to go fully in depth because I was doing a lot of research about the time. So yeah, I'll just get right into it. Because your intelligence is a 0, you don't have access to all of the stuff that you can make. If you increase your intelligence, you can access more tools and more abilities. You just have to make those discoveries. So like fire would be you would need an intelligence of like 10 to develop. And if you get to that level of intelligence, you can use fire and then be able to use it for the remainder of the game. Just a small list of tools that you can craft at max level would be spears, axes, fire, bows and arrows, boomerangs. You can also acquire farming skills and clubs. You can also find animals in the world and hunt them. Mostly just the smaller ones, like beavers, elks, and wolves, or dire wolves. I've also put a few other larger animals in here, like saber cats, bears, woolly mammoths. And I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like a ancient species of elephant. Do you want to give that a shot?
Have it written down?
Yeah, right here. That word right there.
Oh, I cannot read your handwriting.
Okay, anyways.
Yeah, it's called a mammoth.
Well, there's different kinds of...
Here, let me
Here,
take a
no,
gander.
want it?
Oh, okay. Dianothrium.
Yeah.
Dianothrium.
Yeah. They're basically like a other kind of...
Elephant creature.
Thank you. Yes, they are another kind of elephant creature, but not as woolly.
They don't have wool from what you showed me.
No. Yeah, they're not. They don't have wool, but you can interact with them. You can hunt these creatures. You just need to develop your strength by defeating smaller animals. The more you defeat, the more you hunt, the stronger you get. You can also increase your speed by running away. So, like, if you accidentally find yourself in a saber cat den and you run away fast enough, you increase your speed. Yeah. So, to increase your intelligence, however, you would need to make discoveries of the world. One of my favorites that I came up with was stargazing. Like, if you find certain spots in the world that you can stop and stargaze, you can gain some intelligent points because you're actively discovering the world. I wanted to feel like the player is the character that is making these innovations in human history. So I thought that would be cool. You can also increase your intelligence by doing some farming, cataloging a lot of the plants and animals that you find along the ways. You will also be able to increase your intelligence by meeting other cave people. So this is a lot of the side quest stuff that you can do. The main thing that is open to the player is developing a society. This whole game takes place from the Paleolithic era to the Neolithic era. So it takes place between the Paleolithic and Neolithic area, a very long range of time. So Ugg, it technically isn't the character you play as. He is kind of a stock character that you play as throughout these eras. Like the original Ugg, like during the Paleolithic era, meets a cave woman. They have fun, and then in the Mesolithic era, we meet a new Ugg who is a descendant of the original Ugg.
Ugg Junior.
Yeah, Ugg Junior.
UJ.
UJ. But yeah, you play as this like stock character, developing society, not just for your people, but also yourself. By making these discoveries of like the plants, animals, crafting, and just defeating creatures along the way. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh wait, no. So sorry. One more last thing. Each era is divided up into 3 smaller eras, if that makes sense. So the example that I will use is the first arc or the first chapter is the Paleolithic era. But the Paleolithic era is split up into 3 smaller sections. So there is the lower, middle, and upper Paleolithic era, which it just depends on like the level of development the people would make. So if you're in that chapter of the game, you can't develop further. So like pottery wasn't discovered until the Neolithic era. You can't develop the skill for pottery until you get to the Neolithic era in the game. It just it's kind of a way to not let the player develop as fast and just kind of enjoy the progression of the game. Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. And who wants to go first?
I guess I can. So I honestly really like this one, Krais. I really like the idea of as he advances with civilization, or as he advances civilization, that's when he gets the new skills in the game. I think that translates really well with the time period you've picked. And yeah, I kind of like how you even broke down the different eras, so that way you can earn different skills in those eras. I really like that approach to it. I think it needed some sort of overall goal other than survival or just some other big events. But other than that, I think you had a really good approach to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, jumping off Austin, I had basically the same thoughts. I really loved like the how you increase intelligence is like discovering the world and like looking at stars. The idea of getting smarter by looking at by stargazing just really I just really like that first off, because I'd have like an IQ of like 3,000 at this point. But anyway, I wish. But anyway,
Hey, Mr. Humble Brag.
I just look at the stars a lot, dude. It's not that. I just get lost in the majesty of space. But
That's no fair.
yeah. Yeah, I just felt that you needed an overall direction. Maybe it can be like per era. Like you have to reach a goal. Maybe there's a storyline for each of the Uggs that they need to follow through. And they just have to get there eventually since it's open world. But other than that, just needed a way to urge the player to go forward instead of just goofing around in one era the entire time. But people will goof around in one area a long time, but then they can do it again and again and again, and I love it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just really like the concept of Ugg and how we owe our societal advancements to this one caveman, because without him we would have shit. We would have nothing.
No. It's a line of cavemen.
But it's specifically this generation of caveman that advanced society. But other than like that, I mean, I get what you guys are saying, but I think personally, I like the idea that if you just do enough and if you just explore enough and advance enough, there are like certain checkpoints or like achievements that you can do that will advance the next era. Not necessarily narrative. It would be fun to have a narrative. Absolutely. It would advance the game. But I feel like this concept with how free and open the world is and with how much, because like realistically that's exactly what the caveman did. They just explored and discovered stuff naturally. So I think if you just had like a certain checkpoint, like if you reach this level of like strength or this level of like intelligence, kind of like how you originally had it, but like have like a specific number that you had in mind, and that would unlock the next era or generation. I like how realistic it is, but I also love how ridiculous it is at the same time. Yeah, but I do agree that like for the sake of like formatting, there needs to be some sort of like checkpoint. Maybe not necessarily narrative, but just like some checkpoint that you had in mind that would lead into like the next era. Or even just like have like where when it reaches like nighttime, it's been like, oh, it's been like this amount of days or this amount of years. Keep advancing. You know? Yeah. But no, I want to play this game and I just want to go and I want to hit every single thing that I can. Because I know that's exactly what I would do in this game. I would just take my club and I would just bonk
You
on
would,
everything.
you would raise your strength by that. You're like
I
just
would.
by just being, just by goofing off, you're like working, like leveling up in the game.
I would just go dum 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 dum.
Which I think very much fits with the game itself and the theme of it.
Yeah.
Just by
Exactly.
goofing off, you're advancing because you're learning.
One last thing, and then we can move on. I just remembered something that I wasn't able to write down, but I just love the idea of. I want this game to be like a love letter to the people that developed our society, but we have no idea who they are. Like that's honestly why, like in my mind, that is the narrative. It's designed to be like people making civilization is the narrative. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I definitely got that vibe when you
Yeah.
continued the generation of Uggs.
Uggs.
There's Ugg Junior, UJ, and then there's Ugg 3.
Ugg 3. The return of Ugg.
The return.
All right. We know who's next.
Alrighty, Kai. Let's see it. Let's see what you got.
Oh my gosh, it's me. Okay.
It's
Ooh,
you.
Sweaty palms. Okay. Here we go.
These
Sweet palms of sweaty mom's spaghetti. Yeah, so I kind of took a more personal route when I was thinking about my prompt. And I kind of talked to you guys about it when we were at McDonald's the other day and we were eating fries. My parents and, well, one of my parents, my dad, and I have discovered that we are Native American ancestry. We have Native American ancestry, and ever since we discovered that, we have been respectfully researching and diving into that culture and learning everything that we can about it. And one of the most tragic, but I would say important historical events that happened in Native American history is the Trail of Tears. And I think when we talk about Native American history, that's kind of forgotten about a lot, and that's really affected the state of all those tribes that had to go into that. So I wanted to come up with a game that, as accurately as I could with the time that I had to research, to really reflect but also educate the people who might not know a lot about the Trail of Tears. And I learned a lot when I went into that. So my game, and before I go into the title and the narrative of it, I want to preface that I would prefer that if this game did get developed, it would be PC first, then to console, because that's the games that I grew up on, because my brothers are very greedy with their consoles. So when I got my own personal computer, that's just the type of games that I was able to play as a kid. I would go on my PC, I would play, and if I couldn't, I would watch other people play on their PCs. So it would be standard WASD mechanics for walking and traveling, and there would be some certain hotkeys that you would have to click on to do the tasks that involve in the game. So with that in mind, this game is called The Echoes of the Timber. The game takes place in the early fall of 1838. You are a preteen Cherokee child. The gender will be customizable to your preference. You watch as your tribe is packing up camp. They seem to be forced out of their home. As you start down your trail, there's already intense wind and weather, so much so that it causes you to be separated from your tribe. You fall, you hit your head on a rock, and by the time that you wake up, everyone has left you. The only thing of yours that you have left is a fragment of the map of the trail that your mother gave you. Now, this is kind of the creative liberty that I took, is that you guys have like a map system. And the reason that I chose to keep the map or create the map is so you have a visible representation of where you're going. Now, historically, I couldn't really find if they had necessarily any maps as much as they just had like the path themselves that were made to go down. But I created the map so the player could have a visible representation of what their next goal is, what their next checkpoint is. And I had it be like a fragment, so when you get another piece of a map from a site that you found, you would have like a visual progression. Your first gameplay goal is to canvas the area around you for any items you may take as you follow the piece of the map you have. Any item that you gain related to your tribe will not only unlock a memory that you have related to your tribe, like traditions, culture, family, etc. They will display facts about all the tribes that suffered through the Trail of Tears and the facts about the historical event itself. I want this game to be as educational as possible on the tribes and the suffering that they dealt with, but it also functions as foreshadowing of what you might have to face in the game. I tried to focus this game in realism, as a lot of the culture of Native Americans can get too obscured with like the fantastical, like, oh, spirit animals, like, but since we're a child and I like Native American cryptids, I wanted to incorporate them in a respectful and accurate way. Since we are going through the Trail of Tears, and it was a traumatic event, and we're playing as a child, we often cope with our imagination. And a lot of the imagination can get dark sometimes while we're coping. So the thing with the Trail of Tears is that there were a lot of unfortunate deaths. With each site that you come across, you will find fallen tribe members. The journey you have taken has affected you. Multiple children died in the real story of the Trail of Tears, so the fact that your character, a child, has reached as far is a miracle. Your health will naturally get lower even if you do collect food and items to help with the conditions. It's more of a matter of stabilizing yourself at a certain level to where you can keep going, but you never will reach full health after you start the game. For this sequence of the game, for this specific part where you do find the most items and the most bodies, you are stuck at 10%. From shock, grief, and fatigue, your character passes out. And when you, quote unquote, wake up, the sky is dark, your surroundings look faded, as if a shadow is casted over you. As you look at the fallen tribe members, their chests seem to have bursted open. Oh yeah, content warning, sorry. The only source of light that seems to come from the sky is a fiery shape, and you instantly recognize it from the stories your mother has told you. There will be a highlighted section with an instruction on how to hide. As you hide in your first spot, a cutscene plays out. You see that the fire trails land on the ground. They look like a hybrid of an elderly person and a raven. This will be your first imaginary boss and a continuous threat throughout the game if you don't keep your health from at least 25%. These are called Raven Mockers. And Raven Mockers, from what I've researched, are essentially the Grim Reapers of Cherokee mythology. They're these old witches that preserve their lives by stealing the hearts of the sick and the dying. Their existence in the game is that they will only appear if you are low on health and on the brink of dying, because that's how the child is coping with their death. If I don't survive, Raven Mockers are going to come and steal my heart. It's a coping mechanism. If you hide from them long enough and stay out of their line of sight, you will regain enough health to awaken back into consciousness. You will have to drop from spot to spot, however, as Raven Witches will detect your sickness. There will also be some quick time events where the Raven Witch will burst into your hiding spot and try to reach for you. Move out of the way in time and find a new spot until your health goes up to 25%. Okay, I swear I'm almost done. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Take your time.
You're good. Take your time.
With each new site or new piece of the map that you find, you will save your progress. You will gather food, water, and clothing with each body or site that you find. You can't carry as much, but you'll have enough to reach the next checkpoint. The rest of the game will be more about unlocking more memories, traditions, and supplies. You will have a few animal encounters that you can either choose to hunt or you can befriend the animals. If you hunt, you'll have an extra food source, but it won't last very long as you don't really have anything to keep it fresh. But if you befriend it, you can have a companion that will help you travel but you'll have to scavenge for more supplies to keep them alive, and the conditions of the weather will be harsher. You can befriend up to a fox, a wolf, an owl, or a rabbit. At a certain point in the game, you will eventually get the entire map. Once you do, you realize there is a shortcut at a frozen lake. However, the main character is afraid of water due to the legend of the Uktena. I will get into the Uktena later. This part of the game will be a choice, and will unlock multiple endings. You can either stay on the main path, like most of the tribes did, or you can risk going on the lake shortcut. If you choose to walk with the main path, you will encounter a great storm. There will be thunder, heavy winds, and temperatures will drop to freezing cold, which will emulate the weathers the tribe actually experienced during the Trail of Tears since they left from early fall to late winter. It was a long journey. The child will cope with the heavy conditions by praying to the Thunderers. This will be the last mythological creature or figure that you will encounter in this game. And basically the Thunders are like the representation of balance and light in nature. They're kind of like gods they can pray to. The Thunderers are angry due to the tragedy that fell upon the tribes, thus the storms occur. All of your food and items, except for the portion of the map that your mother gave you, will be blown away from your inventory. The only way to combat the storm and keep your health at 25% is to hold the map that your mom gave you and pray to the silhouette of the Thunderers that can be seen in the clouds, which will be a quick time event. It will be very quick and you have to press the right button in time. When you pray, the flashes of memories that you have seen throughout the game will appear again, but a flash of lightning will break it in half as if it were a torn photo. If successful in the last minigame and you collected all the items in your path, you will unlock the good ending, which is finding the settlement and reuniting with your family. But if you miss any item on your path and you reach this minigame, your prayers will be vetoed by the Thunderers and you will get the bad ending. You die before you reach the settlement. If you choose the Frozen Lake path, and this is probably my favorite idea that I came up with, you will encounter the Uktena. The Uktena is a giant horned snake that represents the imbalance of nature. This will be a manifested theme for the child to cope with the ice cracking on the lake. So, as you guys might know, stepping on a frozen lake for any reason is very dangerous because the ice could be sensitive. I know, shocking.
What?
So the way that the child copes with the way that the child copes with this is by the visual storytelling of the Uktena. They mainly live in the water and they represent imbalance of nature, like I said. So to beat the Uktena, you will go through an environmental styled puzzle. The puzzle will require you to walk in a serpentine-like way similar to the Uktena. But it's really just being careful of your step and stepping in the safe zones of the lake. And if you miss one step, or if you miss more than 3 steps of the pattern, you will fall through the lake and the Uktena will take you as its prey. But if you get all of your items and you take the right steps and reach the end of the lake, a representative bird-like creature called the Thunderbird, which represents the Thunderers, will strike lightning into the lake and kill the Uktena, and will grant you weather that will be safe to travel in, and you reach the settlement. But if you don't get all the items, and you succeed in the minigame, it doesn't matter, the storm is still there, you die, and the Uktena finds your body. And I have some factual ideas that I might go through, but I want to actually take more time to research them and make sure they're accurate. By the time that I found facts, I couldn't double check the information. So I'm not going to necessarily list them, but I'm going to say all of the tribes that were affected by the Trail of Tears so people can do their own research. There was the Cherokee, the Muskogee, which is the tribe that my dad and I share heritage in, the Choctaw, the Seminole, and the Chickasha. So, yeah. That is my very lengthy pitch. Really sorry.
No, that was perfect.
No, that was actually a well balanced pitch. That was not too lengthy, not too short either. That was good.
Is it okay if I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
First, I'll start with my feedback.
Okay.
I really enjoyed this. This was really cool. Do you know of a game called Among the Sleep?
Yes.
It gave very heavy Among the Sleep vibes.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who doesn't know, Among the Sleep you play as a little child.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horror game.
Yeah.
And you have to basically your imagination is working against you to make these terrifying entities. And something else that's so terrifying about it is how big they are because you are a small child.
Yeah.
You talking about how like the imagination, like the character's imagination, copes with the danger reminded me of that, and I thought that was really cool. Like Among the Sleep is one of those horror games that I actually really enjoy.
Yeah.
And for anyone who doesn't know me, I don't like scary games. I like to sit in my chair, be comfy, and play a little Persona 3 and beat up some bad guys. Or play Crash Bandicoot and collect Wampa fruit. Not ha.
Yeah.
But I would play this because I think it's really cool. It has a really good presentation of the story and how like the horror elements blend into just how interesting it is.
Yeah. I did try to blend enough horror because I do personally like horror games, but not like too intense or like gory. It's more like just like the atmospheric, and the reason that I really leaned into the child, other than like the imagination aspect and having like an excuse to incorporate the mythology because of the child's imagination, I wanted to like show people really sympathize with children a lot more than like adults, and there were so many casualties of just children, and when I researched that, they didn't have time to like give proper burials or even to bury their kids at all because of how they were forced to just keep moving even as like their people were dying. And yeah, I just wanted to like have that representation of what they could have grieved, like what they grieved and how you could grieve with them just by learning that aspect. Visually, I kind of took inspiration of The Last Guardian, of like that visual style. I loved that style, and there's not another game like that with that visual style. So I was thinking like how well that atmosphere could be with this game, especially with like the monsters or even just like the entire environment.
Sorry, you're killing me.
This game, yes.
Oh my god!
That was my main inspiration, but when you brought up Among the Sleep, I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
That could work really well with the Ravenmocker level.
Oh my god, I didn't even think of The Last Guardian. But yeah, like I see the inspiration. I see it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot how much I love that game. Real quick, I want the other two to talk, but I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So why the split paths? Why the split endings?
Because I wanted to show that like the Trail of Tears wasn't just one singular trail. There was like multiple routes, and even like some routes where they had to like take like the Mississippi River, or even like I don't know, I don't want to say ocean paths, but there were like boats that some of the tribes did have to take.
Seafaring paths.
Yes. So I wanted to like have that in there without it being a completely different game. And since most of the Trail of Tears, and people can correct me on this if I'm wrong, if I got anything historically accurate in this, I want people who do watch this to correct me. I'm not saying that this is a definitive research or completely accurate, because I do want to learn, because I want to connect to that. But a lot of like the harsh conditions were like winter conditions, and I just like the visual aspect of like, if I wanted to get to my family faster, I have to conquer my fears, because they, whoever you customize it as, they are scared of the water, because the Uktena is a very infamous. They're not evil, but they are like very infamous on like danger and all of that. There's a lot of history that I can get into it, but yeah, that's why I picked it. I just wanted to have like some sort of like visual clue that like the Trail of Tears was more expansive than people realize. Anyway, sorry, I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Jack, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. So yeah, I love this. Like growing up, I learned basically nothing about, like, I recognized the name Trail of Tears, but I knew very little about it. But yes, I think the choice of playing as a child was very good. It lets people kind of realize the gravity of what actually happened. And I love how it's educational, but it's done in a way that your character's just playing through it in real time. Like, it's just your character's life. But I think maybe there can be things along the way that help you help the player themselves realize that this is something that actually happened to people, not, specifically a child loss along the trail. But yeah, if you could have like things that like names of places that of the names people would recognize, like Mississippi River, that type of thing, I feel like that could really keep people grounded and really connect and learn about this, which I love. But also just from a game, even if this was totally fiction, if this was complete fiction, the game
Right.
itself sounds great, which is what I love even more about it, is the fact that even without all the meaning behind it, if it was just a fantasy fiction game, it still would be amazing. And yeah, I looked up the game. Oh goodness, you just told me it. The one
The Last Guardian.
Yeah, Last Guardian, and yeah, I totally see it. It'd be so. Oh, I want to play this. But yes,
It's so good.
you do exactly what you wanted, and you got it. I have been rambling and trying to think of any criticism I have, but I guess the one I would have, I think, would be. I think this would actually possibly be easier on console, but if it's PC first, then console doesn't really matter. So, because you're just moving around and you have hotkeys on the keyboard for PC, but you can have that for console. So really, I would. My one critique is how you would release this game, and I would just release it on every platform right away. And I think the fact that that's my only critique says a lot. I just love this.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna bounce off what Jack said. I would agree with that release. I feel like don't hurt yourself. Just put it out to the public so as much because your goal is to educate people with this. You want to get that out to as much people as you can. So I think getting it out to a wide release, that would help you quite a bit. But other than that, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoy learning about Native American culture. I've always found it kind of interesting. And yeah, I think you just did a really good job explaining this and providing detail with it. I really feel like I learned quite a bit from this one too. And like you said, you might not be fully correct about that. I still feel like I got some new information because I was familiar with the Trail of Tears, but I feel like I've gotten more information from that. So I really like it when I really like your approach to the alternate endings. I think that fit for the game so well. And yeah, I think overall this was a really good pitch.
Good pitch.
Guys, don't gas me up on my first day.
No, it's a good pitch.
Good job. We're gonna tell you.
Yeah, thank you. I really try to put as much research and accuracy as much as I can because I do know that there are so many people out there who are like, oh yeah, I have native ancestry because of like this percent and like this much and this much with my family. And I think a lot of that like drowns out like the people who do want to authentically learn and let people know that like, hey, these people are still here. They matter. Their culture matters, and what they've gone through does matter still. So I tried to take as much time as I can, and I was not joking about like the 30 sources that I did, but even then I'm still so anxious on the accuracy part of it because of like what they had to go through and because of like so much of the suffering that they have gone through and are still going through today. There's only so much that we can learn without like actually directly talking to tribe people, because not a lot of their history is accurately told. A lot of what we know in the education system is from American colonists rather than like actual Native American people. So to really learn, I would just talk to people from like the tribe or find sources that are from tribal people, and that's what I tried to do as the best I can. But yeah, I mean, I'm really glad that you guys liked it and we're real eager to like learn on it. If I want to, I would probably like make this into a book, like a choose your own path book.
I was about to, well, yeah, definitely that. Or I was thinking like if this ever does get made, you could have like a documentary of like the making of it, as well, and just going around interviewing people. Like I think that people would love that too.
Yeah.
Which will, one, help promote the game, so investors will be happy about that, but also again teach people, and we can get and maybe you can have like real stories in there, like from like people. You could talk to someone and they tell them, oh, my ancestor did this, and you could have those be those encounters you talked about, and it could be specific towards people, and you can pay homage to specific people, and not just like this people, like these people went through this type type of scenario. It could be this person went through this at this time, and this is real.
Yeah. That's how I kind of like visualized it with like the memories and like the facts that you would get is like there's like actual like stories behind it and like it's visually told rather than like a text of like information that you would get. That's how like I visualized it. But yeah, no, I completely agree. And again, thank you, all three of you, so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Austin, I'm
Alrighty. Let's get this started right.
Did we save the best for last? We're about to find out.
Probably not.
Hey, self-affirmation, self-affirmation. You're gonna do great.
Well, I don't think I'm gonna do bad. My little disclaimer is that I had a bigger idea for the story, but I think because of our little time gap in between recording, I kind of forgot some information or some details I wanted to do. So it's not as detailed as I would have liked it to be.
That's fair.
Mostly because I couldn't remember it.
Is there a content warning about gore and violence that you need to tell us that, 2 of the 3 of us that have already gone forgot to mention until right?
Yeah, you know me with some of these games, they're going to be a little bit more brutal, they're going to be mature.
So content
But-
warning now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my game is set in the early 1800s, just after the Louisiana Purchase. So-
17th century, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But the game I have decided to call it, or the title for the game, would be New Frontiers. So the synopsis is you'll play as 4 travelers as they travel to new land recently purchased in America after the Louisiana Purchase. Survive as you travel the land in a 4-player co-op gameplay as you fight wildlife and other travelers and face off against Mother Nature.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I just okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's just reacting. Keep going.
Okay. So the price point will be $65, going to all consoles and PC. So the main story is after authorizing the Louisiana Purchase, Thomas Jefferson sends a small team to go explore the new land after Lewis and Clark failed to make contact with the president. The new group led by James Smith and Eagle Eyes must learn to work together as they travel the new landscape. The main thing about this is I also have a little bit of background on Native Americans. I did not go into deep detail, nor did I name specific tribes, just because I did not have time to do all that research. And I'm just going based off what I know from history of them actually using Native American scouts and guides as they traveled the lands.
Yeah.
But some conversations throughout the game will be about the mistreatment of the Native Americans, and it will also be used throughout the story for character development purposes, as well as leads to action set pieces. This is the last bit of story I have. I didn't really go deep into the story, but the final boss fight will be a fight against Lewis and Clark.
Oh.
Yeah, so very, very much historical fiction, definitely changing things up. But I broke down the 4 characters that you'll play as first. So the first one will be Eagle Eyes, the Native American, who is the scout who he uses a bow and tomahawks in combat. He's the only character who can climb trees in the game, and he has a special ability which allows him to track down targets and game, and also locate special points of interest. James Smith is the leader of the expedition, who uses a rifle and a pistol, and he's just kind of like that natural, all-around balanced character. His special ability, yeah, like I literally used one of the generic 1700 or 1800s male white names.
That's the generic name today.
But yeah, he's basically just, the standard, all good at everything, kind of just, or not good at everything, but like not terrible at everything kit.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, basically. Special ability increases the speed and critical damage of the allies around him, since he's the leader of the group. Next up, I have our trapper, whose name is Jean Sauvage, who uses a shotgun and snare traps during combat. He's kind of the more aggressive character in the group, so his ability is increased damage for himself.
Dibs.
I don't know, Krais, you might like this next one.
Okay.
Because the next guy is the 4th character you play as is Francis Porchid, who is the cook and also the kind of craftsman of the group, who uses a machete and dynamite in combat. His special ability is to provide healing items to the allies. He's the one he's the bigger guy who you'll go up and go attack people head on.
He's the tank and the support.
Yeah, basically. Think Roadhog.
Shit. Oh, I'm torn. Okay, just move on.
Yeah. So throughout the game, you'll set up camp. You'll have a campsite, and you can craft new stations for it. So that way you can get like a bigger. You can craft new stations and upgrades. So that way you can get a bigger campfire, or you can have bigger carts that hold more storage or more ammunition, food supplies, that kind of stuff. And then you can also make better food. And like you'll unlock new different types of recipes and everything. You can create costume pieces for your characters and NPCs you collect along the way. There's going to be a dynamic weather system, which includes heavy thunderstorms, snowstorms, windstorms, fog, and more. This one's going to be a special one where you get to build settlements for lost survivors, and you get to create, through these settlements that you get to help build, you get to create fast travel points. You're going to be able to recruit people to join your camp for other bonuses. I didn't really come up with other bonuses, but you're going to be able to do stuff like that. You also get to discover special points of interest, like a big landmark that you'll find along the journey would be the Mississippi River. You'll find as a key point of the river, and you'll be able to fast travel there. And as you learn these or discover these special points of interest, you'll not only earn fast travel points, but you'll also earn skill points for the skill trees. Speaking of skill trees, each character has a unique skill tree, so that way they can unlock new abilities and weapon upgrades. A big part of the game is survival, so you got to hunt animals and scavenge around the areas you go to get crafting parts and food for your camp. You'll get to fight other settlers and robbers, as well as legendary beasts throughout the game. So one of the legendary beasts are more cryptid based, because I gotta throw some of those, but some of them would be like in a certain area you can fight Sasquatch, and another area you can fight a werewolf. But those are like, you have to find the clues to find them. More like Easter eggs,
The Easter Bunny is technically a cryptid.
There you go.
Yeah, that is true.
You encounter the Easter Bunny at some
Oh.
point.
You get to fight the were-rabbit.
No, the were-rabbit, but it's the Easter Bunny. Like
Yeah.
pink
Grenades.
fur, bow, the basket, all of it.
Yeah, basically. Like I said earlier, there's going to be a lot of talk about the mistreatment of Native Americans. So one of the things that you can do is you get to defend Native American settlements from the Sooners or the other Americans trying to colonize them. So you get to do a little bit of a defense. There's going to be some character customization where it allows you to choose special hairstyles and facial hair for each individual character. You get to choose different types of clothes for the characters. You also get to equip trinkets and trophies, which will hang on like belts, bandoliers, anything like that. And they'll give special bonuses to your characters. And those can be earned by finding stuff around the world or defeating special bosses like Bigfoot and the werewolf. And then finally, the map itself it's going to be a lot of dense forests, lots of rivers, and a couple waterfalls throughout there. I do want a large portion of this to take place during the winter, so you'll be in the mountains, but there's also going to be a lot of snow with that too. And then of course you're going to travel through the plains a little bit. But the main inspiration for this one came from the movie The Revenant, which I watched a couple weeks ago, and I thought was really good, and it kind of inspired this whole thing.
That's what I was picturing.
Yeah, that it was just kind of the inspiration behind this whole game. But yeah, that's what I got.
Nice. Who wants to go first?
You want to go first?
I don't.
I'll go first. I liked it. It's not my type of game. I don't feel like I personally would not enjoy playing it. I don't think, just because of what type of game it is. That being said, it's a very well thought out game. I do like the mechanics and the characters you have. It honestly kind of reminded me a tad of your Cryptid Hunter game, and not just because you had cryptids in it, but just kind of the open world fighting or interacting with things type is kind of what it reminded me of, but it's kind of...
Yeah, you were not completely off with that, because I was getting the same thing. Like, I know this is going to be very similar to my Cryptid Hunter pitch, but it's a little bit different, and it's it's not a single player one as much as it is co-op and a drastically different story. But yeah, I was like, I know there's a lot of crossover between the two, so I know that one's coming. And again, I lost a lot of information in between while I was thinking stuff, or when I was thinking about this, and then when I actually got to write it. So, it's like, I probably would have had something, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I just wish I could have heard more from about the story of it, but yeah, no, good solid pitch for sure.
Agreed.
Okay. You can go first or you go on.
Yeah, I had three different, when I was picturing it, I had three things come in mind. One of them was the Revenant, with how you described the surrounding areas and the time of year it was taking place, the season and everything, and what you would have to be doing in the game, combat wise, and what you would be experiencing. It really gave off that vibe, and I think you captured it perfectly. Something else that it reminded me of, it was if G.I. Joe was taking place around the time of the Louisiana Purchase, just how you described, okay, here's the squad you're gonna go as, and how you gave the descriptions of them. It reminded me a lot of the G.I. Joe agents from the old cartoon show, but it was set around the time of the Louisiana Purchase. When I pictured it like that, it sounded a lot more fun, especially with the co-op aspect. You could have 4 players playing alongside you. I really liked it from that lens. I don't know if that's what you were going for, if that's what anyone else pictured.
See,
but
I did not intend that, but when you point it out, I do see it.
It's kind of fun, and I think if you leaned into that aspect more, it would make the combat and the certain missions that you would have to take on, and the bosses, you mentioned, Lewis and Clark at the end would be your boss, but the other bosses, or the other checkpoints they have along the way, could be mission status, but instead of the digital mission success text that you would get on the screen, it could be a letter, a parchment written in ink saying mission complete. Then you would send it off to the president of the United States with a bird or something. I thought that would be really cool. But
Sorry, with
a bird or something. Yeah, a messenger pigeon.
Mr. President, look out! Throws a rock with a paper attached to it.
Yeah, I would say maybe in terms of some of the character names, maybe I would look at that aspect a little bit more. But other than that, I thought it was perfect. It could be if it was made, it could be one of our Marvel Rival alternative game nights, and we would all take a. I know Jack said he wouldn't want, or they wouldn't want to play it, but if they were
play it, it's just not it's. I'd play. I just wouldn't play by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's of the same mentality of Marvel Rivals with me. It's just not the type of game I would want to play by myself. Still love it. But
yeah, so if they're up to it, or if we were all up to it, I could see us playing that and having our personal biases on who we would play as. But that being said, Austin, who do you think we would play as?
I knew someone was going
All
to
right.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me go back to where those characters. I have to go back up to my gameplay stuff, but yeah, I definitely saw Krais as Francis Porchid, just because he would be this bigger guy who gets to rush right in and cause a lot of damage while also being a healer.
They called me.
Yeah.
The tank roll.
That was the only really clear one to me. The one that jumps out, I really feel it can alternate between the three of us, between the rest of the characters.
Yeah.
But I was also I myself was gravitating towards Eagle Eyes, just because I can stay back, and I typically get pretty good with snipers and range. But I also feel that would be a good one for Kai. Again, some of these, like you guys said, that they weren't the most dynamic characters, but
the other three can be swapped with the rest of us three. Their playstyles are. Yeah, we all three are pretty ambiguous between these three.
Yeah, the one that I would probably say is the least one for Jack would probably be the shotgun / trapper, which would be Jean Sauvage. I just don't see Jack playing it. It's also not really mine. I'm not really sure if any of us, that's our kind of play style. But if anyone, maybe Kai on that one. But again, I really didn't think of us four in those specific ones. But it's like, oh yeah, that'd definitely be a good character that Krais would play. And then I was back and forth between Eagle Eyes and James Smith for
Hey, hold
myself.
on. Guys, did you hear us earlier?
No.
I guess.
Okay. Kai, say it again.
So, when you said, like, you could see me as Eagle Eyes, I made the joke question if it was racially motivated or not, and then you guys just completely brushed over it.
We did not.
Oh, I didn't hear that. No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that.
You guys just kept chatting and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah,
I
it was
can't-
mostly like I don't think I've played another shooter game with you besides Rivals, and
Yeah,
for some
true.
reason I think that you would be a good like sniper.
If I played Moon Knight correctly, I would be a good sniper, but I always disregard what Krais told me the first time we played, like, hey, Moon Knight's good at a distance. And I think at first, out of spite, I didn't use that, and now it's just a habit, like, where I just throw him in the middle of the field, and yeah. Sorry, Pookie.
This is
Anyways, my feedback.
Segue.
Okay. Speaking of the characters, I think they're interesting. Gameplay wise, I worry about making the tank also have the healing capabilities, because if you go be up close and personal, you can't stay back and heal the other players. That puts the other four at a disadvantage. If it was up to me, I would make the trapper the healer. That would also give. I think that would also just make a little bit more sense, because if his whole thing is traps and being mid range, he's at a perfect distance for the others to be the healer. And I think your story's good. I really enjoyed it. My only other issue that I would say is not with the pitch, but with Austin yourself.
Okay.
What the fuck?
That sounds a lot worse than I made it out to be.
Dude, explain yourself here.
I think I know where he's going with it though.
Austin.
I was hoping for some more variety out of you.
Oh my god.
But what I mean by that is Austin really loves Western pitches, and that's okay. And I love all his Western pitches, but I think he would have benefited if he chose a different era, if that makes sense. If he chose a different decade to have a game in, there's nothing wrong with the pitch as a whole.
Right.
But like Jack said earlier, it kind of reminds me of the Cryptic Hunter game that you pitched.
Yeah.
I think it would have benefited you more as a writer if you had decided to do something a little different.
I can definitely agree with that, because even when I was writing, it's like, yeah, this one is very similar, and it's definitely pointing out some of my favorite eras of time. But yeah, I definitely see it, and I'm not going to try to defend it, which I don't need to anyways. But it's just like, yeah, I definitely see that, and that's one reason why I was mixed on it, because I think it's good. It's just it's something that we've heard from me before.
Yeah, it's a good pitch. I wanted more, bud.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I definitely need to next video game pitch. I definitely need to try a different genre than open world Western explorer or early American history explorer.
Say it with how you described the cast of characters initially, it did kind of give that Magnificent Seven type of vibe as well, kind of westerny style, with how diverse and different they all are. But I do think, and I don't know your Cryptid Hunter pitch. Guys, I have a secret. I still need to listen to the podcast. I love you guys so much, and I am subscribed. I watched your shorts. I just
like you, the listeners should too.
Yeah. Promo. Watch these guys. They're awesome. And I will say, when I'm able to go home next time, I will binge watch. I will binge listen the other podcast episodes. But
I know. Go listen to episode 23, our Western video game pitch.
I'll listen to all of them. But yeah, I will say that the concept as a whole, I think if you like had more time, like if you didn't have like your student teaching stuff going on and all of that, if you fleshed it out more and really looked at the different aspects of it, because it does sound like kind of westerny, but if you looked at the historical aspects more and just like the overall style of the gameplay, I think it could be a lot more expansive. I just think you need more time to like sit on it.
Yeah, no, I would definitely say that the characters, like individual classes and stuff, I wasn't fully satisfied with, but I needed something. So I just threw some stuff together. The only one I really knew exactly what I wanted was Eagle Eyes and James Smith, because I was like, Eagle Eyes, I wanted to use his I just wanted to tap into a little bit of him being a good tracker and everything. And then I always make sure I have that well balanced character for just the casual gamer who's like, yeah, I can do this character pretty well.
I will tell you this: my roommate would love to play your game. He loves games like this. He loves shooter
Thank you.
games. He goes pew pew a lot.
Oh, one last thing before I forget. Reminds me a lot of Suicide Squad. I'm done.
Yes.
That was also one. Yeah, that was another inspiration on that. I did want like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was a little bit of inspiration with the 4-player base and everything, but maybe done a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I'd say not bad and really good. Like honestly, not even not bad. Like that was really good all around.
I'm impressed with all of us as a collective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so where did we time travel to? We went to the 1800s.
I think
Yeah.
3 of us were in the 17th century, and then
Yeah.
Krais.
Then there was ugh.
Well, at least Jack went to a different continent.
Yeah, I'm like, at least I was in freaking England or in Europe, and you guys.
Yeah.
And then Austin and Kai were like in a few.
In all fairness,
and the same continent.
In all fairness, I almost went to school to be a history teacher, so that was gonna be like, yeah, I'm probably gonna have U.S. history a lot more.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, thanks again, Kai, for coming on for this one.
I don't want it to end. I want to.
We'll just have to
All
have
right.
you on again.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
we'll definitely have something for you,
I enjoy all three of you very much.
and we enjoy you.
Yeah. No. Yeah. 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 Right context. Right words.
All right, should we find out what we're doing next episode?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
Do
All
I
right.
get to know?
Yes, you do get to know.
You do get to know Kai.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. All the more reason to binge watch and binge listen all of your stuff, as the audience should. I will find you don't.
All right, let's see what we got. I'm actually really excited for this one. What is it gonna be?
Is this a wheel too?
Ooh,
Yeah, it's a wheel. Oh.
this is what I was really looking forward to.
Is it the pitch?
It's create a fantasy movie.
Oh come on!
Oh.
Come on!
This was my second most wanted pitch, which I selected for our anniversary.
Oh,
Ah,
fantasy. Like a fantasy movie?
Yep.
can this part two? Part two?
I mean, I'm not against it.
Neither am I. I think it's something that we gotta discuss, guys.
We'll talk about it.
I'll be happy either way, but
Don't
I love
take any.
But yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening in on this one. And big shout out to Kai for joining us on this one.
thank you for having me.
Be sure to follow him on YouTube, which was Kai Ridley, correct, Kai?
Yes, sir. I will upload eventually.
Yeah, just like we occasionally upload on YouTube.
Yeah, guys, we're students, young adults. We're figuring out our lives. Be patient, please.
Yeah.
No, we gotta have figured out now.
Now.
We gotta have our 401k now.
I'm averaging like a short film like a month at this point, maybe even more. And like half of them are for the podcast, so like stuff's in the works, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks again so much for listening to this episode. We really hope you guys enjoyed it, and we really appreciate to have Kai on with us today.
Yeah.
Be sure to let us know whose pitch you enjoyed and which game you would want to play the most.
And
Also,
if you
be sure
want
to yes, pick Kai's. But be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, and be sure to just keep keep a lookout for all of our future episodes.
Caveman!
See, I knew his caveman was going to come out as soon as he did a caveman pitch. This is what happens every time, Jack.
Every single time. The three not so wise men: Krais Baker, Jack Green, Austin Michaelis. Special thanks to Louis Trotter for the amazing intro. See you next time.